Most work from home dads are working long hours but still feeling like they're constantly behind. Work eats up your best hour and your energy, and your family gets what's left over. After testing dozens of approaches, I found a way to cut my work week by over 10 hours. And in this video, I'm going to share 11 hacks that have helped me work shorter, more focused days without falling behind at work or at home. Hack number 1 helps the problem of not having a super clear picture of what your week is going to look like. I found that it was really hard to keep up with all the tasks because so many of my tasks were in different places. Some of them were in email, some of them were on my calendar, some of them were in my task manager. So what has helped me is taking 60 to 90 minutes at the start of the week to create a weekly map. So the very first thing that I do as part of my weekly map is go through a checklist where I pull tasks from every different source that they could be found in. And then I put them in one central place. And when I have that full list, I sort it by my top priorities of the things that absolutely have to get done this week, medium priorities of things that I would really love to get done this week, and low priorities of things that if they don't get done this week, it's not the end of the world. And then I have a separate section for meetings. And then to make it a lot easier to find those tasks when I need to, I always leave a link to either the email or the Slack thread or the project management link with that task. So when I get to it, I can click out to wherever I need to go. You can do this in virtually any task management tool. The result is that you stop working on tasks in random order or as they come to you, and instead you move the needle on the most important things. Hack number 2 helped the problem of not finding time to work out. So I began to work out while doing other things. It's not uncommon for me if there's a meeting where I don't have to have my camera on and I'm not having to contribute, maybe it's the entire team and it's mostly just listening to some updates. I will put some headphones on, I'll put the meeting on my phone, I'll make sure my mic and camera are off, and then I'll go for a run. Now there have been times that I have been thrown into a breakout room unexpectedly and I was really sweaty, but I just said, hey, I'm just out walking, so I'm here and I'm listening, walking while like drenching with sweat. And when running during a meeting isn't an option and my day is already kind of full, I'll take the mornings where I'm watching my son and put him in the running stroller, and then we'll go running together. So that way I'm getting my workout in, I'm not wearing headphones, and so I'm chatting with my son if he wants to chat. We're enjoying the fresh morning air together, and it frees up time later in the day to focus on work. The result is exercise stops being one more thing that you have to fit in and instead becomes part of your routine while you're doing other things. The next hack helps solve the problem when you have a massive to-do list and you're unsure of what you should really tackle next. Doing that first hack of doing top, medium, and low definitely helps, but a big list is overwhelming no matter how organized it is. So the solution is to take a note card and write down the 3 to 5 most important things that you need to get done that day, your daily MITs. Doing it digitally keeps you from jumping into the rabbit hole of what do I need to work on next, because you can just put it on your desk and look at it. It's super satisfying to physically check off a to-do item, and at the end of the day, you have physical evidence that you got important stuff done that day. Hack number 4 helps diminish the amount of meetings that you have. I know not everyone has control over the amount of meetings that you have, but this is particularly useful when it's a meeting where you're updating someone on the progress of something. Record a short video update using an app like Loom, where you share the progress on a project and any blockers or feedback that you need from your team. So this is helpful even if you didn't have a meeting on the books about this, but it keeps you from having to add another meeting. The magic of having a video update is that you can show what you're talking about. You can use conversational language. You don't have to type everything out and add a bunch of screenshots, and it could be a much quicker way to get that update communicated. Pro tip, you want to be mindful of the viewer's time. So don't record a 23-minute update. I have found that at the end of a Loom video, if I feel like I was a little bit rambly, I'll literally record the exact same thing again, and a lot of times 1 to 3 minutes will be shaved off the second time I do it because I have a little bit more clearer idea of what I'm trying to say the second time around. But adds a couple more minutes for you, but you've still avoided a 30-minute meeting and you've respected your colleagues' time, particularly because they can also watch it at 1.5 or 2x speed. This will save you hours a week. Hack number 5 has been super helpful in maintaining my energy levels through the day. The tendency when you're working and you've got a lot to do is to just plow gone through and skipped taking a break. And every time that I have done that, by the end of the day, my work isn't great. I'm doing the thing where I start working, but then I go check Slack or email or LinkedIn or whatever, and then come back working, and then it's like, this is hard, I'm gonna go back. I'm so much more distractible. And so the days that you feel you don't have capacity to take a break are the days that you absolutely need to take the break. For me, the 2-hour mark is kind of my limit. Once I've been focused on like one thing for 2 hours, it's like I need to get up. I need to go out and spend a little bit of time with the family, go for a walk or a run while listening to some music or a podcast. Even just using that opportunity to turn my brain off and do some household chores. Sweep all the crumbs that are always on the floor. The result of always taking your break is better focus, more energy, and higher quality work. The next hack has actually helped me maintain my focus when I'm sitting at my desk. In the past, I have experimented with 2 monitors, having them side by side. I've even done one of the vertical ones on the side with the horizontal one on the right. And what I found is when I have 2 screens is I am more distracted, because on the second screen, I've got Slack or email or my Spotify list waiting for me to get to the point where I'm like, I would love a distraction right now because this thing I'm doing is hard. Having one singular monitor will help give you one singular focus when you're working. I do recommend getting a monitor that's at least 27 inches if you go down to a single monitor, and really learn the quick keys like Command Tab to switch back and forth between apps. So that way you're not having to do the thing where you drag one app out of the way and then pull the other app in, but you can still reference multiple apps at the same time pretty quickly. The result is gonna be a lot less context switching and the opportunity to have deeper focus. Hack number 7 is really helpful if I have certain phrases or responses that I need to use over and over again. In the past, I've had like a Google Doc where I would copy and paste certain responses that were a little bit longer and then adjust them accordingly wherever I needed to paste them. But using an app like Text Expander lets you have a library of stock responses or templates that you can pull up with the quick key that you set. So for example, whenever I want to paste my Zoom link somewhere, if I type Zoom invite, it automatically pastes my Zoom invite right there. Or as a social media manager who sees the same question come up, I can set up an automated reply, but before it pastes it, I can type in the name of the person that I'm talking to personalize it a little bit more. The result is that you save a few minutes every week, but that compounds. Text Expander even tells you how much time you have saved, and last year I think it was around 8 hours over the course of the year that I saved with these automations. Hack number 8, put an end to work kind of filling every part of the day, from the early morning to the middle of the day to the evening. There's this idea that if you give yourself 3 hours to complete a task, you will take all 3 hours because you've given yourself that time. Whereas if you gave yourself 2 hours to complete that same task, you can still get it done in 2 hours. Work expands to fill the amount of time that you've given it. Knowing that, I have committed to a hard cutoff every day. I'm done at 4 p.m. no matter what, because that forces me to focus, to prioritize, and to ensure that I am getting this work done by 4 p.m. as opposed to just being like, it gets done when it gets done, because then it's gonna take all day to get done. This also protects my family time, so that way I can watch the kids so that my wife can go work out or go do what she wants to do in the afternoon after she's been working all day. Creating a hard cutoff literally helps you get the same amount of work done in less time, so your work does not spill out into evenings or worse, weekends. Also, if you're wondering how all of these hacks work together into one cohesive system, I break all of this down even more in my Work From Home Dad's 6-hour workday playbook. You can get it completely for free using the top link down in the description. Hack number 9 is super helpful when I've got a bunch of ideas that I am trying to get organized so I can present it to a team or even just for myself. Whenever I'm typing out my thoughts, it's usually kind of stream of conscious, and in the middle of typing it out, I kind of start editing it, and it just takes time. Using an AI dictation tool like Super Whisper or Whisper Flow lets me hit a key on my keyboard and my microphone just starts to pick up what I'm saying, and it is all written out for me. I can then go in and edit it or just have AI organize it and summarize it for me, but it's helpful for more involved Slack updates, emails, or generally when you're just drafting something that's a little bit more long form. You're able to communicate faster with less friction and capture those good ideas in a more natural and fluid way before they slip away because you can't type fast enough. Hack number 10 is another hack that will help you attend fewer meetings. If you have a lot of meetings, it's not likely that you can just say,
hey, can we just stop having this meeting? I don't want to do it.
I mean, if you're a manager, maybe you could, especially if it's not a useful meeting. But there are ways that you can renegotiate some of the meetings. Like if you've got a weekly meeting, would it be possible to do this meeting every 2 weeks? Or if you have a 60-minute meeting, could you say, hey, would it be possible to make this a 30-minute meeting? If it's a meeting that you feel you don't really need to be at, perhaps you could ask the question, do I need to attend this meeting? Obviously, this depends on your company culture and what is and isn't allowed. And if you just got hired, maybe don't start pitching some of these ideas. The principle is don't just default to,
this is what's on the schedule and this is the way we've always done it, so we're just going to keep doing it this way.
Renegotiating meetings at whatever capacity that you are able to will protect more of your hours every week and free you up for more high leverage work. And hack number 11 was super eye-opening because I, like most people, think I know where all my time goes, but I'm actually a horrible gauge of where my actual time goes. You might be like,
oh yeah, I definitely spent at least 25 hours doing deep work this week.
When in reality, it's actually closer to 3. And so the solution is to track your time. You can do this with a digital spreadsheet. I like to use an app called Early, where I do a keyboard shortcut whenever I'm starting a new activity. And I can say, okay, I'm gonna start email. And then when I'm done with that, I hit the quick key to start a new activity, such as content creation. And at the end of the week, it shows you where all of your time went. And then you can even add projects so you can see how much time went to a specific project. When you have that clear data, you can then begin to make adjustments accordingly, saving you time on the things that you don't want to be spending it on, and then giving you more time for the things that you do want to be spending it on. Also, if you want a super simple time tracking spreadsheet, that's also included in that free 6-hour workday playbook that I mentioned earlier in the video, top link in the description. Now, you can implement every single one of these hacks, but there is one thing that could completely blow it all up, and that's if you and your partner are not on the same page. Miscommunication between you two is what leads to frustration and resentment and a terrible week. So check out this video to learn the 15-minute routine that me and my wife have every Sunday. It's simple and it's completely changed how we juggle work, kids, and everything in between. I'll see you over there.